Okay, hi there, everybody. Welcome. This is Elisa Bonet. I will be hosting this class, and I am excited to have you with me. This is a very important topic for so many people, but I have a very special connection to the topic of pain. This is one of the primary reasons I decided to get started with doTERRA back in December 2015. As a teenager, I was diagnosed with a very severe pelvic inflammatory condition, and it required several surgeries. So I was constantly in and out of pain, and it never quite went away. I would have some temporary relief, but then it would just come back, and I'd have to go through the whole process all over again. But in addition to that, I was diagnosed with a very debilitating and chronic pain and inflammation syndrome that I had been struggling with for at least 10 years without any type of relief. I was in so much pain, it hurt to brush my hair. I was in so much pain, it hurt to take a shower because the water hurt me. It was unbearable. And the simplest things were so difficult to do. In addition to that, I was also in about three different car accidents over the course of several years. All of this led to taking potent pain medication for over 30 years. And when I was introduced to doTERRA, I was current at that time using a cane. And when I went to the supermarket, I would use an electric cart to do my shopping because it was difficult for me to walk. My pain was constantly at an 8, 9, 10. And in spite of taking 13 medications for all of my different ailments, I was still miserable. And that pain was just intolerable. I would wake up crying, I would go to bed crying, I was irritable, I was moody, I was impatient, I couldn't sleep, and just basic activities that we often take for granted, like putting the groceries away or putting on your shoes, wanting to plant some flowers, or having to clean something like the oven that requires bending. All of these things were just almost impossible tasks for me. But now my life is so different. I've experienced indoor rock climbing. I've snorkeled in Hawaii. I've bicycled 17 to 20 miles in Alaska. And I've had other adventures that I really never thought I could participate in. And so now my pain is manageable and tolerable. And there are times where I really don't have any pain. And for me, that is incredible. And so, what I'm going to share with you today, of course, it's not intended to diagnose or treat or cure or prevent any type of disease, but it's going to be educational information from my personal experience and how I have benefited from using doTERRA essential oils and their supplements. Now, I know you're all familiar with doTERRA, or else you probably wouldn't be in this class, but these are certified pure tested grade. And that means that there are no fillers, nothing synthetic, no harmful contaminants, nothing that's going to reduce their efficacy. And each of these batches is undergoing very rigorous internal and third-party testing to confirm that these oils are meeting quality standards. And every bottle, if you look at your individual oils, underneath it's going to have a quality ID number that you can view online the testing that has taken place and the results from this independent verified third-party lab. So just remember that the oils you're using are very precious, they're very special, and very unique. And they're really a blessing in our lives because we can truly benefit from them if we use them intelligently and we use them on a regular basis. So let's get started on this topic. And as we have done in previous classes, we like to just assess how are we going to rate our pain depending on what we're feeling and where we're feeling it. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what about chronic pain? Is chronic pain part of your daily life? If you had to rate it, like I would rate mine prior to using these natural solutions, I was in chronic pain every single day. And I was an 8, a 9, a 10, and many times even beyond. If there was something beyond a 10, I would definitely have circled any number beyond a 10. So, circle or imaginary circle the number that would reflect if you have chronic pain in your daily life. What about emotional pain? I know that when we started this topic, maybe you were thinking of physical pain, but there's also emotional pain that could even trigger physical pain. So that heaviness that you're feeling in your heart, in your being, are you struggling with any type of emotional pain? So from 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself here? And then occasional pain. Sometimes that happens. We might have a condition that is temporary, and then we're just healing and going through that process and can have some discomfort if we injure ourselves. We get a back injury if we strain a muscle, or you can have that pain that kind of comes and goes. Maybe you struggle with head tension now and then, or you struggle with cramping during your menstrual cycle. It's not every day, it's just a few days out of the month, but that would qualify as occasional pain. So these are the different types of pain that we might be dealing with on a regular basis. And let's look at what kind of support we may need depending on where you have it. So, if you're looking at your body systems, is it primarily around your shoulders? Do you get, like I mentioned, head tension, headaches, other type of painful conditions in that area of your head? Do you struggle with some back issues? Do you have a sports injury? So identify which part of your body really needs the most support. Now, we have talked in previous classes about the importance of taking the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And when I started, I never gave it that much importance, even though it was stressed how key these nutrients would be for my overall wellness, to reduce that inflammation, which would in turn reduce the pain, for that cellular energy, for the oxidative stress. And we start that foundational basis with eating right, with this wellness pyramid that was developed by Dr. David Hill. He's one of the founders of doTERRA. And this wellness pyramid really helps us identify key things that are going to help us feel well overall. And the first four are all about our lifestyle. And when it comes to lifestyle, we have a lot of control over that. They're choices that we make, and things that we can use to support these various categories. But right now, let's focus on eating right. I like to liken eating right and nutrition to planting a garden. You may have beautiful seeds. You may have gorgeous plants that you want to um, place throughout your garden. But what if you don't have the right soil? What if your soil is too rocky? What if it doesn't have the right nutrients? Um, all of these factors are going to impact how healthy that plant is going to grow. Is it going to thrive? Is it going to die? And then, of course, we need to water it and we need sunlight. There's all these different factors that are going to impact how beautiful that plant is going to grow. But if you have the right foundation, which is the soil and the nutrients and the water and the sun, then you're going to have a gorgeous garden. With health, it's very similar. We can be using some oils, we can be drinking our water, we can be sleeping our 7 to 8 hours. But again, if you don't have that fundamental foundation, which would be the nutrition, then all of these other things are not going to do their job to their fullest capacity. So if you want to build the strongest body, it's very important that you give it the fuel it needs to thrive. Now, everything that we eat is either going to feed or fight disease. Now, that's very important to note. Everything we eat, how often do we think about that when we're eating? When you pick something up and put it in your mouth, do you think, is this going to make me healthier or is it going to make me sicker? Is this going to strengthen me or is this going to weaken me? We typically don't think about those things. We either like something or we don't, and we start eating more for emotional pleasure than physical necessity. But that nutrition is key. And so it doesn't always come in our diet. We don't always integrate all the different nutrients we need to have the vitamins, the minerals, and the different nutrients necessary for a healthy, strong body. So, therefore, supplementing with high quality vitamins is key. And so, doTERRA's vitamins are bioavailable. What does that mean, bioavailability? It means that your cells and your body can actually absorb them. A lot of the vitamins out in the markets today are full of synthetic ingredients. They have binders and fillers and different things that make it almost impossible for the body to absorb any of that nutrition. Now, this is doTERRA's number one selling product, and it has a 30-day money back guarantee. So you can try it for a month. If you don't get the results you're looking for, you can return the empty bottles and get your money back. So you're not going to lose anything. And you're going to really have the opportunity to test something without fear of losing your money. And I love that, because if somebody's going to stand behind their product, they're going to offer you this type of guarantee. It took me several months to try the vitamins because I was a non-believer and I had tried so many other vitamins in the past. They never helped. And that's why when they were recommended, I just didn't really quite believe that they could be any different than what I had tried in the past. But when I finally decided to just give it a go, I was amazed at the difference it had on my energy, on my mental. I was a lot more sharp, more clear, and my pain and inflammation really started to decrease significantly. So this is just a couple of things that these vitamins can do. There is an ebook that you can obtain through doTERRA that gives you a breakdown of each of the vitamins, what's in it, how they work, how they function, how they can benefit you. And that's an ebook that you can download for free. So I encourage you to look into that. Now, here are some different ways that the Lifelong Vitality, or LLV, can support you. Now, with chronic pain, what it does is it helps provide your body with a healthy response to that oxidative stress that's occurring. And when you're in a lot of pain or you have a lot of inflammation, oxidative stress is occurring, and this starts to neutralize it. It also supports your bone health with their calcium and magnesium, zinc, and vitamin D, plus healthy joint function and comfort. As far as emotional pain, as I mentioned, it truly did help me have more mental clarity, and it does support your brain function. It has a wide range of the omega-3 fatty acids for your gut and your cognitive support. And it protects against lipid oxidation and supports healthy function of the brain, eyes, and nervous system. Now, for occasional pain, it can provide powerful foundational support of vital minerals and vitamins to help keep your body performing at peak performance. So optimal nutrition protects your body and speeds recovery. Just a couple of things to consider that can really make a difference in shifting your body into um, those healing processes that need to take place and giving it what it needs so that it starts to reduce some of the pain and inflammation you might be dealing with. Let's talk about some of the dangers of prescription medication. Now, it causes more deaths than car accidents. So over 37,000 deaths a year are attributed to pain medication overdoses, people overdosing on pain medication, or side effects from pain medication. And a lot of teens are falling into this category now because they assume that because a medication is prescribed and it's legal, then it's safe. And they start popping these pain pills lots of times because they enjoy that sense of euphoria. And it can be a danger because it's a very temporary fix that can lead very, very quickly to addiction. With withdrawal symptoms, these are not pleasant. I was on pain medication, as I mentioned, for about 30 years. The last 10 years, I was on very, very strong pain medication. And as I started to detox and try to help my body cope with not taking the medication, I did have leg spasms. I had diarrhea. I had little electrical impulses in my body and in my brain. I struggled with the ability to sleep. So your body does go through a withdrawal because these are so toxic and dangerous. Your body is going to have a reaction as you start to change the habit of using that medication on a regular basis. A very big problem in this category of pain medication is that it is overprescribed. An estimated 90% of people with chronic pain are prescribed opioids, and it is supposed to be a short term solution. And even though there's a lot of evidence that doctors can support patients with chronic pain with non drug treatments, they are going to provide relief with less risk, but nevertheless, they just take out their prescription pad and start to prescribe these pain meds, which leads to so many different problems. Now, one of the side effects of taking prescription opioids and pain medication is that over time, they start to cause tummy problems and bowel issues. They can stop you up, a lot of constipation, bloating, and nausea. And it can even lead to a narcotic bowel syndrome. Um, I had so many tummy problems when I was taking medication, um, and it was not fun. It was so painful, and I ended up in the hospital a couple of times because of these side effects from all the medication that they were giving me. And there's just so much evidence that shows that instead of using prescription meds for pain, there are natural alternatives that are safe, that are effective. And the reason that they are not promoted is because it does take time and it takes effort. Um, Natural options are not a quick fix. And most people aren't willing to go that route because they want to pop a pill and they just want to feel better in 15, 20 minutes. And again, it's a band aid. It's a band aid and it's not going to really get to the root of the problem and it's not safe long term. I'm not saying that there's never a time or a place where we need to take medication for pain, but if we can use some alternatives first and try that route, and try to get to the root of the issue that's causing the pain, then we can have a more holistic approach to relieving some of the pain we're dealing with. And today's class, I'll be sharing some recipes, some protocols, and different top products that I use and others have used to support themselves naturally with pain. Now, a couple of tips to help with weaning off pain medication. You drastically want to increase your water intake. So, at least 4 liters of water a day. And grapefruit is a wonderful oil to support the detoxing and addiction process. So grapefruit and lemon's great at eliminating petrochemicals and other toxic chemicals in the body. A lot of these get trapped in our lipid tissue and our fatty tissue. So citrusy oils are excellent at helping the body detox that from the cells. Replace the habit. Just quitting something abruptly can be very harsh on the body, and you want to have something to replace that. So try a new healthy habit. For example, you can do deep breathing, you can download an app that helps with meditation and guided imagery like Calm. I use that frequently. You can do some exercise, you can go for a walk out in nature, drink some water. Um, Over time, as you start to use alternative things to support your your habit, if you're depending on meds all the time, on pain meds to get you through the day, if you replace these habits with some natural and healthier alternatives, over time, it's going to start to form new neural pathways in the brain. You're going to retrain the brain to stop depending on pain meds for relief. But again, it does take time and it does take effort, but it's definitely doable. I have done it. Many people I know have done it as well, and it's so worth it. Now, taking your vitamins is going to be key during this detox process because you want to support the body, and it's going to alleviate some of those symptoms we talked about earlier. It will alleviate those symptoms while you're detoxing. And of course, surround yourself with your loved ones, surround yourself with people that can support you. Changing your environment is very important so that you are surrounded with people that are going to support your decision to get off pain medications, those that are going to encourage you and maybe be a partner when you need somebody to go with you when you want to take a walk or you want to do something that's healthier, someone you can rely on, someone you can even call, or someone you can Zoom so that you can have that support during the detox process. A couple of other tips I wanted to share is diffusing is a really great way to support your mood and support your limbic system. So try diffusing 4 to 6 drops of Purify. That smells really fresh and clean and uplifting. And you can also rub a drop of black pepper on the bottom of your feet, especially on your big toes. Do that twice a day. And align. Align is a blend that is found in our yoga collection. You can rub a drop of align over your heart during times of weakness. Set yourself up for success. Have the tools and the resources ready so that you can begin the process of weaning yourself off some of your pain medications. One thing that was key for my wellness journey, as I tried to get off my 13 medications over time. It took me several months, but one thing that was key was learning about the oils, understanding how they work, figuring out what to use as a replacement for different things. So you want to empower yourself with knowledge. And there are so many tools and resources where you can educate yourself. Now, there have been over 3,000 studies that have been documented by universities and hospitals and research centers, and they have demonstrated that essential oils are efficient, that they are a natural and safe alternative. And so you can find these studies at pubmed.com, at aromaticscience.com, and then there's books. Here is one of my favorite books. This is Advanced Oil Magic. This is the latest book that was recently released. And what I love about this book is that it doesn't only teach you some of the science, which I'm going to share with you briefly, just so that you can get an idea of what I'm talking about when we talk about essential oil constituents and properties. But it has the science and it has protocols. You can look up different health concerns and challenges, and then it'll tell you some recommended protocols as to what you can take, how often, how many drops. So it guides you step by step. And then, of course, if you want to support your emotions, then I highly recommend this book, Essential Emotions. I'm not sure if this is the latest edition, but you can look up your emotion and it'll give you a variety of oils to support that emotion. Or you can also find it through the oil itself, and then it'll specify which emotions are supported by that specific oil. So just have the tools that you need so that you can become independent and you can have that freedom from always relying on medication. Start to use the tools that you have available and use your wellness cabinet at home. Let's look at some other resources that are available for just empowering you with the knowledge that you need to make better choices. There is the doTERRA Essential Oil Chemistry Handbook, and I've indicated where you can locate this ebook. It is all about the chemistry of each of the different oils and how these different compounds and volatile molecules work within the body. So if you're into science or just want to understand how oils work in the body, this is a great ebook to download. In addition, there is a science blog that doTERRA has at doTERRA.com. If you go to the Discover Solutions section, you can see the science blog there. And for the purposes of the chemistry and the constituents of oils, I added the link on the article that deals specifically with this, and it gives you a breakdown. So here you have two different resources so that you can learn how oils work in the body. I wanted to share an example from the Advanced Oil Magic book. There is a section on the science of the oils, and I wanted to pull out just a couple of the different properties of oils. So here in the center, you'll notice that if an oil is antidepressant, it's going to alleviate some of those symptoms of depression. And the chemistry that supports our brain in this manner would be these four in the light blue. And then on top of that, you'll notice what percentage of that specific constituent is found in the various oils. So it can be a little confusing if you're not familiar with how this is laid out, but everything in nature is made of constituents or different parts of chemicals, natural chemicals, that give the essential oil its properties, the various benefits that they can offer the body. So here's another one on anti-rheumatic. So if you have pain or stiffness, here's some different oils that you can use to alleviate that. So let's look at an example. Let's look at the bornyl acetate. Bornyl acetate is very soothing to skin and tissue. And this relaxes your autonomic nervous system. It reduces inflammation. So common oils that have a high concentration of boryl acetate are going to be black spruce, Siberian fir, rosemary, Douglas fir, hinoki. Let's go down to the methyl salicylate. Here we have a constituent that is a main ingredient in aspirin. If you are taking blood thinners, you want to avoid oils that have this constituent. So oils like birch or wintergreen, ylang ylang. And this constituent is known for its ability to greatly reduce pain and inflammation. So here we have geraniol. Okay, geraniol is also really good for pain and stiffness. So which oils contain geraniol? Lemongrass, melissa, wild orange, lime. But I would go with lemongrass. You can see the percentage is higher here, 36 to 55%. Melissa, 12 to 38%. So when you get into chemistry of oils and you start to educate yourself on how oils work, you can look for the properties, and from there you can develop a protocol for yourself, depending on which oils you have in your wellness cabinet. So let's say, for instance, let's look at black spruce up here, okay, for boryl acetate. Boryl acetate helps with pain and stiffness, but you're like, hey, I don't have black spruce. What else can I use? Oh, look at this. I have lemongrass. Lemongrass also has 36 to 55% geraniol, and geraniol is good for pain and stiffness. So that's how you can start to learn the properties of oils and how they help. You don't need to go into the science because doTERRA will tell us this one's great for this one's great for that. But if you are interested in learning, I found this fascinating, and it's very empowering to understand the properties of oils. So this is just something I wanted to share and give you this alternative. Let's look at anti-inflammatory. Which oils are anti-inflammatory? Well, the properties that are in this category would be things like camphor. Again, we have the methyl salicylate, and we have camphene and beta-caryophyllene. Now look at the beta-caryophyllene. This is a constituent found in copaiba. About 55% of copaiba has beta-caryophyllene. And this oil has the highest concentration of any other oil out there. It has the highest concentration of beta-caryophyllene. And this is a very important constituent that reduces and alleviates inflammation. Wintergreen. Here we have the methyl salicylate. Again, wintergreen, 1 drop is equivalent to approximately 1 baby aspirin. So you can use maybe to 2 to 3% dilution when you're using wintergreen. It could be very strong and irritate the skin, so make sure you dilute it. But look at wintergreen. Wintergreen, 98% of it is methyl salicylate. So be careful with wintergreen if you are on blood thinners. You don't want to use both. Now let's go into a few of the key products that I've used and I recommend when we are dealing with different types of pain. This is Aroma Touch. It's called the Massage Blend, and it has cypress and peppermint, marjoram, basil, grapefruit, and lavender. It's really great for any type of discomfort. You can see the list of the different things that it can support, and you would just massage 2 to 4 drops with some carrier oil if you have really tight muscles, anything that has to do with aches and muscle tension or pain. If you have a headache, you can put some directly on the temples. Be careful with your eyes. It does have peppermint, and it's very irritating. So make sure you avoid the eyes. If you have any type of pins and needles on your feet, you can add 1 or 2 drops to the bottom of your feet. Now, all of the oils also have an emotional component. For emotional use of Aroma Touch, this can be really great to prepare you for having your heart and mind opened up, releasing unnecessary stress. Sometimes it's difficult if we've been at work and we're stressed out, then we come home and we bring our work home with us. We bring home the problems, we bring home any type of difficult situation we may have encountered or deadlines that we have. It can affect our mood. And then it's difficult to transition from a state of anxiousness to a state of relaxation. So Aroma Touch is an oil that can support you in that manner. Here is a diffuser blend using Aroma Touch. You can really enjoy a very bright and clean diffuser blend, blending the oils mentioned here. So Aroma Touch, lime, grapefruit, and green mandarin. Tensionitis. Here's a great combination of essential oils that can help with any type of tight muscles. So you want to massage it with some carrier oil into your neck and shoulders, and it also gives you a bit of stamina and is a pick-me-up. Note that lime as well as the Aroma Touch are photosensitive or phototoxic, which means if you're going to apply it topically to your skin, you do not want to expose that skin to sunlight for at least 12 hours, or you will get something potentially related to a sunburn. So any citrus oils are going to be phototoxic. So avoid sunlight for about 12 hours with citrus oils or blends that contain citrus oils. Copaiba. Now, this is one of my favorite oils, and I'm going to read you a little bit about some of the key things of this oil. Now, this is the resin of a tree that grows upwards of 100 feet, and it can be found in tropical South America, in Brazil. And it has been used since the 16th century in traditional health practices throughout Brazil. Now, Copaiba it doesn't contain psychoactive cannabinoids. This resin is a powerful antioxidant, really great at promoting immune health. And again, it has an extraordinary amount of beta caryophyllene. And what this does is that it binds to, they're called CB2 receptors in our endocannabinoid system. And this system, the endocannabinoid system, is a signaling and regulating system. It's comprised of enzymes and receptor sites throughout the body. And endocannabinoids are produced throughout the body, and they're found in major organs. So when you're using Copaiba, it's binding to these receptors, and so it builds up your immune response, but it also is super at reducing inflammation. And you can use it topically, you can use it internally, you can even use it aromatically. So this oil I love to use for my nervousness when I get super anxious. If I get that feeling of overwhelm and panic, then I will use Copaiba with a little bit of frankincense internally. And I also use it topically when my muscles are really tight and tense and I'm achy, then I just apply it topically. Straight, neat. So if you're going to use an oil neat, that means you're not diluting it. You're just basically adding a few drops directly from the bottle. But you can dilute it even though it is safe for neat application. Here's a blend that I make for my severe, my brain busting blend. My brain, get it? My brain, my brain busting blend. It's really effective at supporting those head tension times where you just can't deal with light, where you want to throw up, where every noise bothers you. So I use my neat. Um, I use equal parts depending on what size my roller ball is, but I use equal parts of copaiba, lavender, peppermint, frankincense, and deep blue. But you can dilute it. And in that case, you would use about 20 to 25 drops of each and apply it every 15 minutes until the pain diminishes. You want to try and get it right when it's beginning to be, right when that pain is starting, right when you can tell, uh-oh, I'm going to have a migraine. Then you can start applying it at that point and just try to do it every 15 minutes until the pain subsides. It works really, really well. Past tense. So our past tense was in a roller ball, and now we have it in a regular 15 milliliter. So this blend has lavender and wintergreen, peppermint, frankincense, cilantro, marjoram, Roman chamomile, basil, and rosemary. A fabulous blend for any type of head tension. It's very calming, even for muscle cramps. So if you deal with muscle cramps, this is a great blend to use. I've mentioned different ways that you can use it. So for arthritic joints, you can just massage it directly into your joints. If you have head issues, massage it into your temples and forehead. And here you can use it neat or you can dilute it in a roller ball. And I've given you some options as far as dilution. So if you want a 15% dilution, it would be 30 drops of the essential oil, and then the rest you would fill with the fractionated coconut oil. At 20 drops, that would be a 10% dilution. At 10 drops, that's a 5% dilution. So for some people, it could be too intense because it does have the wintergreen, and it could be a little spicy and cooling, especially with the wintergreen and the peppermint. Both of those are very cooling. So dilute it first, and you can vary it depending on what your tolerance is and how sensitive your skin is. Now, a great thing is that this oil is also excellent to bring you back into balance and calm. If you have any type of burnout or nervous tension, you can use past tense and get it before it becomes a setback for you. If you've never used past tense in your diffuser, it smells wonderful. So give that a try too. So here's the recipe for the diffuser. 2 drops past tense, 2 drops Siberian fir, and 1 drop thyme. It's very herbaceous, and what it does is helps you break away from some of those patterns that can lock you into feeling tension. And I just love this blend. It's very, very fresh, very clean. Let's move into the deep blue. We have deep blue as a rub, and we also have it as an essential oil. And the essential oils in this blend are wintergreen camphor, peppermint blue tansy, helichrysum, and blue chamomile. Everything from any type of injured joints, tendonitis, tennis elbow, frozen shoulder, sports injuries, even growing pains. That happens a lot with kids. They start to ache, especially in their legs. You can dilute some deep blue with coconut oil and give them a massage, and it alleviates a lot of that discomfort. What I often do is put the deep blue on first, the essential oil, And then I will, instead of diluting it with coconut oil, I will just put the oil on directly and then add a layer of the deep blue rub. For emotional use, deep blue can help us. Sometimes we feel restricted, we feel inhibited, and we can be dealing with physical and emotional pain that keeps us feeling stuck or trapped. This blend helps us embrace that challenge of moving forward, of working through that difficulty, and being able to feel more joy, more peace, more serenity beyond that pain. So you can use a deep blue to help you move through these difficult emotions as well. Here are two recipes that include the deep blue essential oil, the soothing rub. I'm sorry, the soothing blend. The first is a combination of the deep blue and the frankincense. So if you want to take a picture of this screen so that you have both these recipes. Now, the first one, the light blue painkiller, some of us can be too sensitive for the deep blue directly. Even the rub can be a little irritating for those that have very, very sensitive skin. On the days when I'm feeling extra sensitive due to my pain condition, then I will use something like this, where I create a roller ball and dilute my deep blue, and you can add frankincense or you can add copaiba, and then make an alternative to the deep blue. The pre-workout magic, here you're adding some lemongrass and lime with the deep blue, and that's really great to support your muscle tissue. The deep blue polyphenol complex. Oh my goodness, this is one of my faves. I love, love, love this complex. Really great for everyday support. You don't have to take it just when you have pain. You can take it on a daily basis. It's safe for use on a daily basis. And this polyphenol contains frankincense and turmeric, green tea, ginger, pomegranate, grapeseed. All of these are designed to provide soothing support to your achy muscles and other types of occasional discomfort. And for instance, the unique blend of the Indian frankincense that is found in this complex is the Boswellia serrata. And this Indian frankincense has been used for countless years in traditional Ayurvedic practices of India. And the extract has also been clinically studied to promote healthy mobility and function. And it really does provide soothing support throughout the entire body. And of course, we know about turmeric and how that's also been used for centuries. And it is also known, and we're going to cover more of turmeric in just a moment, but it's known for its role in really supporting overworked muscles and joints. It's been recognized by experts throughout the world. Plus, it has ginger root, which is one of the first spices that was brought to the New World. And it also has been recommended for a very long time for its soothing properties. So you can see how all of these can work together to really support our body. And it also contains a tummy tamer blend. This blend of peppermint, ginger, and caraway seed are very soothing to the tummy, so you're not going to get an upset stomach. And I like to take 1 to 2 capsules twice a day. You can take up to 6 a day. Start with one and see how you do. But if you need another one, then you can take another. The really great thing about doTERRA and the essential oils is that there's a lot of flexibility. Each body is different. And one pill may work for some, and others may need two. Same thing with the essential oils. Maybe somebody has a great response to 2 drops, but then someone else may need 3 or 4. Don't be very rigid on, oh, I can only take 1 drop, or it only says I can only take 1 capsule. Um, Look at it more like a person that is cooking, right? When you're cooking, you taste it and you're like, oh, it needs a little bit more salt. Oh, and you taste it again, and well, I think it also needs a little bit more pepper. So you tend to adapt that recipe to your personal taste and needs. Whereas a baker, when you're baking, you have to be so stringent. Everything has to be measured perfectly, or else it's not going to give you the results you want in that recipe. So look at doTERRA and the oils and the supplements. Look at them more like cooking, right? Where you have that flexibility and you can kind of just see how you feel, see what you need, and then just adapt the dosage to what your body is needing. Okay, the turmeric dual cap. So this is the information I wanted to share with you regarding our turmeric, which is pretty fabulous. Now, doTERRA is the first one to combine both the essential oil and the extract. And so this is state of the art, and you get the synergy. You get the synergy between the tumerones and the curcuminoids. And that gives you that maximum benefit, maximum effectiveness, because you're getting both of the different properties of the extract and the essential oil. So turmeric has long been known and recognized for helping the body have a healthy inflammatory response. Now, turmeric is derived from, it's a member of the ginger family, and it's been used for a long time to support the body. Now, this one is really interesting because, as you may know, when you take the turmeric extract, the curcuminoids that it contains, they help fight free radicals in the body, and they have this very important role in protecting against oxidative damage in the cells. But in order for it to be fully bioavailable to the body, then normally they sell it with black pepper, something along those lines, so that your body can absorb it. Well, the interesting part about the turmeric dual chamber caps is that the essential oil, it's going to have different properties, right? The essential oil is going to be that black pepper, if you will. The essential oil has these 2 different components called tumerones and artumerone, and they have been shown to help the body with the absorption of the curcumin that is found in the extract. So both of them combined are very powerful and are super important if you want to have healthy, flexible joints, and if you have any type of overworked muscles or inflammation in the body, then this would be something you might consider adding to your wellness routine. So you can take about 1 capsule twice a day with meals. And I take both. I love taking the deep blue polyphenol complex, but on those days when I'm feeling a little extra achy and a little extra inflamed, I'll add the turmeric dual chamber capsules. But of course, the turmeric benefits us in so many other different ways. It's not just for, the pain and inflammation. So love, love, love these dual chamber capsules. But give them a try and see what you think. Here are a few protocols that I wanted to share with you that have been very effective for me and for a lot of people I've worked with. If you have chronic, widespread pain, then again, the foundation to any protocol I'm going to recommend to individuals is to take the Lifelong Vitality Pack. 2 of each twice a day with food. and 1 to 2 deep blue polyphenol complex 2 to 3 times a day. And then you would either apply deep blue or the aroma touch and copaiba topically, and then you can put a layer of the deep blue rub over the oils. Also internally, 1 to 2 copaiba soft gels or 2 to 4 drops sublingually 2 to 3 times a day. And if needed for additional support, you could take a turmeric dual cap. Now, this is a protocol I recommend just for all sorts of aches and pains, just general widespread pain, no matter what kind of pain it is. This is going to be a great protocol for just killing that inflammation. And especially with the Lifelong Vitality Pack, it contains the alpha CRS, and that is like taking a fire hose to inflammation. It really just knocks it out and allows your body to heal and has great antioxidant support. So between the Lifelong Vitality and the polyphenol and then the topical application, then you can have greatly diminished discomfort throughout your body. So try this protocol. Now, if you have chronic conditions and painful syndromes that are impacting your life like they have mine, this is my protocol. This is what I do. This is what I take. And this is what has helped me. So, of course, the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and I take the deep blue as well, the polyphenol complex. My syndrome causes extreme fatigue because I also have a fatigue condition. So I use the Mito 2 Max to support me. Pain can also debilitate your body. It can fatigue you and wear out your adrenals. So using the Mito 2 Max is going to support the mitochondria, and that's your little gasoline for your cells. And that is an oil, that is a nutrient that is key for cellular health. Your PB Assist, that's your probiotic, because we tend to have a lot of tummy issues and we have difficult time with our immune health. We have a difficult time with our mood regulation. Now, if you recall from previous classes, we use probiotics because 90% of the serotonin of the brain and other chemicals that help us feel calm and happy, they're actually produced in the gut. And so we need to have a healthy microbiome. 80% of our immune system is also produced in the gut. So digestive health is key. So adding those probiotics is going to be very important to support all of those different systems. I use Clary-Calm to support my hormones, and that is something I use twice a day. An adaptive soft gel. Again, with our syndrome, we tend to have, we need a lot of emotional support. And it's very difficult to deal with stress. We can get triggered easily with different situations because our emotions are a lot more heightened. Pain can also do that to you, where you're worn down and you just don't have the ability to cope with stressful situations. So adaptive is a fabulous way to support the body and regulate some of the cortisol and the adrenaline and other chemicals in the body that can cause emotional discomfort. The copaiba and the frankincense, I take that 2 to 3 times a day. Again, for mood and pain and inflammation. I take 1 drop Melissa sublingually and my DDR Prime. I use the oil and the soft gels that supports with cellular health. It's an anti-mutagenic. It's very important to help the body reproduce healthy cells. And then I'm going to share the fibro-busting roller balls with you in the next page. Here you have 2 options. And of course, you don't have to just have a painful syndrome to use these roller balls. You can use it for a variety of different painful conditions. So option one would be to use the yarrow palm, frankincense, copaiba, and turmeric. And option two would be lavender, Roman chamomile, wild orange, and marjoram. So both of these are fabulous. And again, just remember every body is different and you may have to try different things before you find the right thing for you or the right combination of things for you. Don't try something and if it doesn't work, give up. Okay, don't give up. Just realize that the chemistry in that oil or the chemistry in whatever blend you tried may not be exactly what your body needs. So just try an alternative. Work with your wellness advocate to find different options and alternatives. And eventually you will find what's right for your body. Let's look at some sample wellness box before we wrap up. Now, again, everybody, I am recommending the LLV or the Lifelong Vitality Pack as a base, as a foundation for everybody, okay? And from there, you can build upon your specific needs, what your body needs. So if you need support with joint pain, then you're going to do LLV plus try the turmeric capsules and the deep blue rub and the polyphenol capsules. If you have muscle pain, then try the turmeric and the copaiba, the marjoram and the deep blue rub. If you have emotional pain, consider the adaptive system where you get the collection of the concentrated oil, the touch, as well as the capsules. And then elevation, a fabulous blend like sunshine in a bottle that'll just cheer you up, boost your mood, and help you feel a lot more joyful. If you do not have a diffuser, please, please, please consider adding a diffuser. Diffusing every day, day and night, is part of our wellness goal, part of our wellness protocol, because we need that consistent support, whether it's physical or emotional. If you're trying to cleanse the air, if you're trying to open up airways, a diffuser is going to be key to helping you achieve those goals. And of course, the frankincense. Underneath each of the protocols, I put some additional options. So for the joint pain, you might consider adding the lemongrass as well. That's really great for joint and tissue health. And for muscle pain, you might consider adding the deep blue oil or the aroma touch. And then for emotional pain, definitely incorporate the copaiba. So just a few options to think about. And here you have digestive pain. If you have tummy issues, we didn't go into too much of digestive discomfort, but here the Terrazyme is critical for everybody, especially if you're over 35. That's when our enzymes start to deteriorate. And adding enzymes back into your diet is going to vastly improve your digestion. If you have gluten intolerance, lactose intolerance, other type of intolerances, have trouble digesting your food, always feel gassy or bloated or just uncomfortable or crampy, then Terrazyme is going to be very helpful to alleviate that. The probiotic, again, PB Assist, we need healthy microbiome for digestive health, but also for our emotions and for our immune system. The Digest Zen, that one is so fabulous for everything tummy related. The gas and the bloating and the nausea, if you have motion sickness, that's going to be a big important oil in your toolbox. The tamer is for children. Adults can use it as well, of course. It's just pre-diluted. It's in a roller ball and it's ready to go for topical application on your tummy. And then we have the peppermint soft gels. These are enteric coated, which means that most of our bowel issues or tummy issues are going to be stemming from the lower intestines. So you want that peppermint to open up in the right place. We don't want to just take it and have it affect our upper GI or just our tummy. You want to have a time release, and taking the peppermint and enteric coated soft gels are going to allow it to open up in your lower GI where most of our problems stem from. So digestive pain includes your lifelong vitality pack as well as some of these or all of these. If you have head tension or migraines, again, your LLV, and then adding the past tense, copaiba, frankincense, even eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is really great for head tension. Now remember that when you place an order between the 1st and the 15th of the month on the loyalty reward program, and if that order is 125 or above, then you receive the product of the month. doTERRA pre-selects the free oil, but many times this free oil is not available for purchase. It's not part of the regular inventory. So you can only obtain it by being on this program and making that order of 125 the first 2 weeks of the month. Now, many of you may have joined me when I taught the Symphony of the Cells, and right now I'm briefly going to touch on a protocol to support inflammation. Symphony of the Cells is a technique. It's a collection of 19 different protocols that enables us to use oils in a specific manner on the spine and on the feet to support a variety of body systems. Now, the symbols here, I'll briefly go over them. If you see the carrier oil, that means you're going to apply it throughout the back to reduce any type of irritation to the skin. There isn't going to be any type of aromatic application for this protocol, but if you were to see a nose, that means you inhale the essential oil. The neck and shoulder application means applying the oil at the base of the neck and shoulders and then rubbing it across that area. And when you see a spine, I've added some arrows just to show you the direction of how you would apply the oils. But when we see the back and the spine, that means we're going to apply oils 4 to 6 drops along the spine. And then you're going to use your fingers or your hand to lightly slide up along the spine to the base of the skull, which is this image here. So you go up that way. And then you come back and you do circles with your hands throughout the back as you're spreading those oils. And then whatever's left over in your hands, you just swipe the feet. And so this is what the symbols indicate. And the oils that you would use, I'll share those in just a moment, but the inflammatory protocol for Symphony of the Cells can support various conditions, as you can see here. Everything from cramps to joint pain to tendinitis, head issues. And this protocol does support various systems, including your nervous system, your cardiovascular system, your immune system. So even though we're trying to support widespread inflammation throughout the body, the benefit of the oils that are going to be used are going to support some of these other systems as well. And here is the protocol that we would use. You would start off with frankincense across the shoulders and neck area. Also allow the person to inhale it from your hand and then swipe their feet. You then add some fractionated coconut oil throughout the back because the next oils can be a little irritating. So this is going to serve as the dilution. So protect the back with a layer of fractionated coconut oil. And then you move on to number 3, which is adding tea tree. So 4 to 6 drops on the spine, swipe up to get it into the spine, and then circles starting at the base going up to the neck, circles throughout the back, and then whatever's left over in your hands, swipe the feet. Then you follow it with wintergreen, you do exactly the same thing. And then aroma touch, lemongrass, Siberian fir, helichrysum, deep blue, and you're going to end with peppermint. This entire protocol is going to take about 5 to 7 minutes. It is an optional step to use heat once you end with the peppermint. You can put a warm towel on them. You can put a heating blanket. You can put a heating pad, and just ask them if they're comfortable, because it can get the heat from the peppermint and some of the other oils can intensify, and just make sure they don't get too hot or their skin doesn't start to burn. If that is the case, then put an extra layer, like a towel, or add more fractionated coconut oil and then add the heat again. Then just let them rest for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And this is a really great way to reduce that overall inflammation. You can perform this maybe 2-3 times a week. And that, my friends, is it. So here we are wrapping up. Always a reminder that you can share with others, connect with your wellness advocate if you want to learn how you can host a class, or if you want to make a little bit of extra money on the side, if you want to make a difference and change the lives of others. There are a lot of different options with doTERRA. So find out if there is an option that works for you. And it does not take a lot of time. You can do something part-time, or you can just share and host a class and win some free oils and gifts. And just a reminder that every time you donate, you are supporting people in all the various countries, over 47 countries where we're sourcing our oils. doTERRA has a nonprofit organization called the Healing Hands Foundation, which supports other nonprofits in their efforts to make the world a better place and support communities living in these wonderful countries where our essential oils come from. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this webinar. I'll be looking forward to connecting with you in the near future.